So that's the system that we are talking about, the whole house system. The whole house system, the protector one, it has a computer, and this computer basically has a lot of information about how the system is going to regenerate. We have to, the installer actually puts the information of how hard the water is on that area, and the computer will do the calculations. And this computer actually also checks and monitors the use of the homeowner. Let's say, because like this system, like right now the capacity is 1,666 gallons. That means that when you are going to be using, when it gets to zero, the computer will send a signal to regenerate that night at 2 o'clock. Actually, that morning, at 2 a.m. in the morning, when supposedly everybody's sleeping. Okay, so the system will regenerate. So it's going to be ready for the following day, fresh, and use another 1,600 gallons. But let's say on Saturdays, the customer will wash their cars, will do all the laundry for the week, and on Friday night, and on that Saturday, the customer uses 500 gallons, example. And the system on Friday night has the capacity of only 300 left. And if the customer does the washing and uses 500, the system actually will be passing hard water. So that this computer will measures the uses of the customer like every day. So like on Saturdays, if the customer is going to be using 500, and on Friday night it shows only 300, it will send a signal for that night to regenerate, because the following day the customer is going to need 500 gallons. So it will be enough capacity to clean the water. So that's the way that this system works. Besides, there are a lot of units out there that they're still using the old technology, and those technology will use a lot more salt, and doesn't save water. This one saves water too, and saves salt as well. So that's the way that the system works. And the system will have also a bypass just in case something happens. It's a really easy bypass. So if something happens with the system, the customer can put a bypass, and then they still have water on the house. The technician, we sent a technician to see what happened with the system, which we never had to use that. So the system is pretty much well done. It's American made. The resins that we use is the best resin that is available on the market, and the resin basically is a warranty for life. The warranty that is on this head is 5 years for the electronic head, which we've seen units 7 years, 8 years, and they're still working. So replacing these heads are not that expensive. When we need to replace it after the warranty of this unit that is 5 years warranty, customer doesn't pay that much money if we have to replace, or if we need to replace just the computer. It's a really simple so we replace the computer, and it takes like a few minutes to.
Is that like a motherboard?
This is the one, yes. So it's really simple, and these plugs are, you cannot go wrong with where it goes to extend. So these heads are well done, made, and easy to program. And sometimes if the power goes out on the house, we have a battery that will keep all the memory. The only thing that maybe like any other component, electronic watch or alarms, probably will disappear, will be the time of the current time. So that's really easy to set. If you set clock and go, the hour is blinking with these arrows up and down, you just put it to the right time in the next second, the minutes, and then set clock again. And now you have your hour already set. The memory of the programming, it never changes. So even though if the power goes out, the programming is still on the computer. So the units are pretty much, you don't have to do any maintenance. There's a tank that goes with it, and the only thing that you have to do is just watch the level of the salt. A lot of people, they just put it like, probably they can put it like 5-6 bags of salt. In most cases, one bag will last for a month. So if you put it 6 bags, that will be good for 6 months. So in every 6 months, you can keep adding 6 bags, and the bags are about $5-6 a bag. So it's pretty much cheap for having a good water, clean water on the whole house. So there's no maintenance on these units, even though we have maintenance on our yearly basis on the alkaline, and we send the technician to do the maintenance on the alkaline unit, and they will check it, the system as well, that the system is working properly. So they will do the testing like what we did, and make sure that the time is good and everything is working properly. So we don't have any issues with these units. And most of the people, all the people, they will, once they get it and they take a showers,
They love it.
they love it. Who has water softener in their house?
My daughter
Your daughter?
is using it for about 9 months now.
9 months now? Yeah.
Or I think 10 months, like that.
So when they go to another house or a hotel or Las Vegas, let's say, basically you can tell the difference. Then now you can appreciate to have clean water in your house, because when you take a shower, especially when you have this system on your house, that's when you notice the difference, when you take a shower in another place. Besides that, if you have glass on your shower, and if you don't have clean water, I'm pretty sure all the glasses gets all water spots, and everybody hates it. And now, when you clean it up, if you have that problem and you clean it up your glass, and you install the system, now you don't have to do anything, because there's no more water spots on your glass. Your glass is going to stay clean, and it's going to be like brand new.
Yeah, that's my problem before, but now I don't have to worry. I just put the hot water on the glass, and it's shiny. Before I have to spray.
Yeah, or use chemicals to take the hardness out of the surfaces. And there's a lot of scale, and most of the fixtures or the shower heads or the piping on your showers. And there are some expensive shower fixtures, some houses that if they don't have the water softener, you can tell the scale that builds up around the showers or the handles, and eventually you need to replace it. And that becomes really expensive because now you gotta get a plumber. Replacing the valves on a shower, it's really expensive because now sometimes they have to even break the walls to replace the fixtures because the hard water eats metal, so it becomes expensive. So with a water softener, everything stays like brand new. I have in my house a big shower, and most of it is glass, and it's like brand new. We never had any water spots, so it will be really hard to have water spots on a big glass and really high. So you got a lot of people, they spray every day, or every time that they take a shower, they have to spray it. And that's an extra time of your life, scraping the water out of the surface. And besides that, you don't get everything. And you don't remove it. So, and what happens if you are in the area and take a shower and leave it? Now it gets all, next day you get all the water spots. So that's the way that the whole house system works. Besides that, the water gets clean, no chlorine. There's a lot of organic contamination too, that the carbon will take it out, like pesticides and some other organic contaminants. The unit will remove it. That's on this system. The Protector XC, that's a unit of we don't use any salt. The hardness on the water will remain, with the difference of that the hard water will be crystallized. That means that the water spots you will see on your glass, but will be easy to clean it. So it's not going to get a stick on the surface. So it's a lot easier to clean it. That would be the best solution for the areas where you cannot use salt. So the anti-scaling that we call, it will crystallize the hardness. So besides the anti-scaling, we will do also another tank, and will be a combination of two tanks. One is filtration, the other one will be anti-scaling for the places where you cannot install a salt system. That's the way that the resin that goes on the anti-scaling comes from Germany. And it's a resin that will last up to like 3 years. Every 3 years we need to change it. And that resin doesn't need to be regenerated because it doesn't work that way. The only thing that that resin will do is, like, again, crystallizes the hardness. So if you will do this test, you will see the hardness. Now that the hardness is coming down, you can see the difference. So basically, that's the hardness that it will stay either on your glass, your pipes, or on your clothes. That's on the water. The water softener will remove it, and without the water softener, it will stay like that. So basically, on the kit that we have, you will get this unit. This one is in white. This one is black. Color doesn't mean anything, but this is the way that you do the testing on in front of the customer on their own faucet. So it comes with different adapters, so you can install it by yourself and do the test in front of the customer. And as well with all the other you get the test tubes and all the solutions to do the test. So that's pretty much what it is on the water softeners. Now it's important also to when you are doing a presentation on a house, there are houses with 2 bathrooms, there are houses with 6 or 7 bathrooms. So this system is designed for like up to 3 bathrooms. If there's a house that has 6, 7 bathrooms, that means that that's a big house and requires the bigger system. So we have those bigger systems as well. The piping, the connections will be on a regular house, sounding are from 3/4 to 1 inch. On the bigger houses will be from 1 inch to 1.5 inches, which there's more gallons per minute and requires a bigger system, which we have that too. So when you see a big house, you have to let us know that the house is big, and the difference is not that much. It's like about another, all depends what size of the pipes and the house we have to figure out, but it can go another $1,000 more for a bigger unit, which for big house and mansion, extra 1,000 won't be that much. Because the plumbing will be a lot more expensive and the system will be a lot more expensive too. We will use the same valve because this valve can handle up to 28 gallons per minute. And to use 28 gallons per minute, you have to open probably 5 or 6 bathrooms at the same time. If they're using 2 gallons per minute on the shower, some of the shower heads, you do the math, and it's not that much. Let's say if they don't have the reducing valves, if they use 4 gallons per minute on the fixture times 5 bathrooms, that will be only 20 gallons per minute. So this control valve will handle up to 28 gallons per minute. There are some big houses that they have a high flow faucets for their jacuzzis, and they want to fill it up really quick. You don't want to use the smaller system, and the pressure will reduce. So you want to use. So you have to talk to the customer. If they have no high flow valves, the regular system will be fine. Now there are some houses that they have a duplex and they have another house on the back. Now that means that the system's got to be a little bigger. A small system, it's not as small, but a regular system cannot fit 2 houses. So we got to use the bigger system for the 2 houses. So that's important to know. You are going to be in front of the customer. You have to know the details of the house. If it's a duplex or if it's a big house, you are not going to sell them a system that is designed only for like 3 bathrooms or max 4 bathrooms. So And most of the times, the big houses, all the fixtures are high flow. So you want to have the proper system to install. But we work with you when you call us and you can tell us we have this house from a celebrity. We install it on Beverly Hills mansions, a lot of big systems, and they are not, it's gotta be a bigger system. So we are not going to install the same system on a small, on a 3-bedroom, 2 or 3 bathroom. It's not the same system for the mansion. So we gotta, you guys gotta tell us what kind of house it is and how many people are living on the house too. Even though sometimes this system gets installed on the house that has 3 or 4 bedrooms and has 3 bathrooms, but there's like 15 people living on the house. Imagine this system has, if the hardness on that unit, on that house or that city, this one is 18, and if the hardness like 25, now the capacity is only 1,300 gallons. That means that every 1,300 gallons, like I told you, is going to regenerate. And if there's a lot of people in the house and they use like 800 gallons a day, so this one will regenerate like almost every day. So that will be really hard for the system to take it. So we need a bigger system. We need a bigger tank. Because eventually this head will break because it's working every day. You want to use a system that is going to regenerate once a week. The max will be twice a week. You don't want to regenerate every day. So that's why it's important to know how many people are in the house, how all the details. So we give them the right system, the right tank. The head will be the same, but the right capacity on the resin. So that's really important to know. Or if it's 2 houses, same thing. We gotta use, this one is a bigger tank. So it takes a lot more resin, and the capacity of that will be a lot more. And then we program the system. This one's at 30,000 gallons. By doing this, we raised to 40,000. So now you guys will see the difference on the capacity. It was 1,300 before, now it's 1,700. So we raised the capacity, and the system is not going to regenerate almost every day. So it's going to regenerate like once or twice a week. So that's important on the whole house system, to know the details of the house and the piping size. But normally when it's a regular house, most of the houses will be from 3/4 to 1 inch. So that's a standard system. And like 95% of the customers that you are going to be talking probably will be a standard system.
We got a big house, we could always submit a copy of their water bill and give you exact, that'd be better to help, wouldn't it?
Could be, but there's always, you can tell right away if it's a big house, even though they are not using as much as you cannot calculate what if that house have only 2 or 3 people living on that house and they have high flow faucets. You want to use the high flow system because of the high flow faucets that they have. Because most of the times they have a big jacuzzis on their bedrooms and you want to fill it up really quick. If you do the standard system, it will take a lot longer to fill it up and the customer's not going to be happy.
Because the bill will show their use in 100 cubic feet.
Not really. It's about the usage of the water. You gotta ask how many people in the house and what size piping they have, because probably that house, like I was telling you, it's only 3 people in the house. Now you compare the usage of gallons of another house, a smaller house that have like 7 people in the house. Probably the one that has 7 people will use more water than the bigger house.
Yeah.
But the bigger house also requires a bigger system because of the high flow faucets. So it's information that you guys need to know before we do the installation on the system. But most of the times, like I will say 95%, it will be a standard system. So unless like you're in a big house, or a duplex, and they want to do the filtration, the whole house filtration for both houses. So that's when or also if they're like 15, 20 people in the house, or the small house, that's when we need to use a little bigger system too. So that's important to know about the whole house system. We don't want to give them a system that they're going to be unhappy with. So, and changing systems is a little expensive, sending the plumber again to do the plumbing and changing the system is not that easy. So we have to give them the right system. Like again, 95% of the times will be a standard system. And that will be something that you are going, if you are talking to the customer, you can get all this information. And it will be nice to also to know the area, and we will figure out the hardness, how many grains of hardness that area has, and we do the calculations. And the planner also does the calculations for the hardness of the system. So. So pretty much that's all about the water softness, the whole house systems. It's pretty much simple. The testing that you do, like I was showing to you, the chlorine test, the precipitation test, and the salt is pretty much what you do on the test. You do the test on how soft the water is for your skin, and the chlorine that you are showing the customer. And after you talk about the hardness and the benefits to have a whole house system, you start talking about the alkaline water. So that's when the customer, if you are showing the whole house system and the benefits, and they are saving money by buying this, and if they buy the whole house system and you offer them that you are going to give them also the Alka 75 and for free, and all the detergents, there's no brainer. They're going to be saving money. If they're spending like $140 a month on buying water, shampoos, and all the different detergents, and if they qualify for the financing, that they're going to be paying like $69 a month for the first year, you do the comparison. No down payment, 0 down. You still go with the expenses of buying water and buying all the detergents, and spend from 100 to 140, or you just pay $69 for the first year and get all the benefits. Besides that, you're going to get the benefit of the whole house filtration. You get the benefit of the alkaline drinking water system. So that's pretty much about the whole house system. All made in USA. Your customer is going to be happy once they do the installation and take a shower, and the whole family will actually notice the difference between our system and before and after. So there's a lot of benefits on the system. Besides that, also, in case you want to sell your house, your broker will always ask you the house have a whole house system, and that's another that's another plus for your house, that the house has a filtration unit, whole house filtration. So the value of your house will increase as well. So that's another benefit of the whole house system.
Can we ask questions?
That's pretty much.
Do you want to talk briefly about the filter for the Alpha 75? Do we have time?
Sure, yeah, we
Yeah.
can talk about the Alka 75.
So how different it is with the other filtrations?
And then we will do on the questions,
Yes,
because
yes,
some people I
yes.
think they have to leave. So now on our Alka 75, I'm going to show you what's inside the Alka 75. The first filter that we have is a new technology that we have. This filter alone on the first filter will basically remove 99.99 virus, bacteria, and cyst. And also it's good for lead, removing lead, and some other contaminants. We have a flyer with what this filter was tested for. There are a lot of companies they're buying from us this technology, and they're using on their own filters. So by adding this filter on the first filter of this technology is something new. Our system basically will run through the first filter already clean. Besides that, this one also takes care of the chlorine and chloramines. And then goes through the second stage, which we have catalytic activated carbon. It's good for chloramines and all the contaminants of the organic contaminants. And then we have a coconut shell carbon, half and half. And then goes to the membrane. This is the membrane that will separate all the solid dissolves in the water. Like also it's good for bacteria. It's good for lead and all the other contaminants. There's more like 170 prescription drugs that are on the water that you can see it on YouTube by the news. And this will be the only unit that will remove it from our water.
What do you call it?
So this membrane is the membrane. It's a reverse osmosis membrane. So water will go through this area, and then there's a small porous that the water goes through, and it's forced to go through. Whatever goes through the membrane, it comes out right here in the middle. And whatever doesn't come out, it will exit this way. And then we have on the manifold for the unit, we have a hose that it goes to the drain. So all the contaminants will go to the drain. And all the good water comes out from the middle. And when the water comes out from the middle. It's actually pure water, and we took everything out of the water. Now the water becomes acidic because the pH, when you take everything out of the water becomes acidic. And the pH like around 5.5, 5.8 in some cases. So there's no minerals on the water, but the water is pure. So that's same as the, let's say Aquafina, the bottled water, and the pH is acidic. The pH is low and there's no benefits for the body. That's when we use our 7-stage mineral filter. Water will go through all these stages, and we have these bioceramics, and also we have a magnetic ceramics inside, which will be adding, now we are adding all the good minerals of the water. We are adding potassium, calcium, magnesium, and also we are getting all the antioxidants, negative ORP we are putting the negative ORP on the water. And this filter also creates hydrogen, which is really important for the health. So water that's coming out of this filter, you can check the pH. Now the pH is a lot higher and with all the good minerals and the hydrogen on the water. So that's our system. And this system produces really slow because of this membrane. So we use a storage tank. On the storage tank, we are going to be store alkaline water. Some companies, they use similar filters, but they don't use this technology. So what happens if you don't use this technology to start with? Now that the water doesn't have any chlorine, or if the city water has some contaminants, like could get contaminants of bacteria, in some cases they announce that, you gotta boil the water on that area because something happened on the city filters. With this system, you don't need to, because this unit, just this filter will remove bacteria and the cyst and the virus doesn't go through on this technology. If it goes through, like on the other systems, you contaminate all the filters. So bacteria will grow inside the system if you don't have this technology. So in some systems, customers, they think that they are having a good water. In some cases, it's even worse than the tap water because there's some bacteria grow on the water, on the systems, especially on the tanks as well. So that's really important to know about our system. Our system has also certifications. So we have a whole seal from WQA for this system. So we have the certification in place, which a lot of companies, they don't have, even though they have a flyer with all kinds of certifications. And if you see a flyer with 4 or 5 certifications, you gotta kind of question it because nobody pays only $60,000 for each certification. One is enough. So if they have like 3, 4, or 5 certifications on a system, you better do a research, and you are going to find out that they don't have none of it. So if you can do a research on WQA, there's a place where you can search by company, by manufacturer, and you can see our certification on the QMP. QMP is the manufacturer.
Yeah, I saw it.
So you can see the certification for the unit. So That's what you can show that your customer, the certifications and the contaminants that the system will take on the certification. So
You call that the golden?
it's a gold seal.
Gold seal.
Yeah, it will be on the flyers, the gold seal by WQA. Now WQA is the Water Quality Association, and they do the testing. They have labs that the certifications are under NSF standards. So it's a NSF protocol that is being tested too. So that's pretty much our whole house with the Alka 75 package and all the detergents for the package. The protector one with the Alka 75 $69.50, and the protector plus $6,500. Protector plus $69.50.
How about the XC?
The XC is same as the protector plus because it's going to be 2 tanks. So $69.50.
But no, so
That one doesn't. We can give them the soap as well. So yes,
Yeah, and all those come with this Alka.
the Alka 75. Yes. So that's pretty much the decision. On your customer will be according to how you did the presentation to them, how you show them, what's the benefit of having our system versus if they don't have the system and they still spending money on buying water and the time that they have to spend to go and get bottled water, or they go to the market and get all the different detergents. And what we have is basically a whole benefit. Now we are going to get questions. We have a question over here.
Those 2 protectors go with the system. What's this? What are the things that go with the system?
The whole house, when it's only the protector one, we have 1 tank and the salt tank, this tank. Now you can do a combination. The protector plus will be this one, salt tank.
This does not go with it.
Yes,
The XC
and this one goes with it.
The XC stands alone.
The XC will be
With
the extra tank, 2 tanks as well. Yes.
Say I sold my house.
Yes.
I want to take my unit to another house. Will you install it also for me for free?
No.
The whole house system?
How much will it be?
The whole house system? You want to take your whole house system?
if you want to, if you're renting a house, you have to share.
No, you cannot, for rental, it is very rare. You can be approved with financing. You cannot. So Freddie was saying earlier that if you've been renting there for a long time, or maybe you're renting it from a relative, you can talk to the owner and then,
Yeah, so
yeah.
so you apply
Yeah.
everything that you want.
yeah.
Yeah. If you have,
At kalatan madam tabaka nga ako.
you want to, if
Is
you're
ka pa?
when
Ah?
the house, they tell you, okay, I don't want.
Dahil sa pagdana.
Of course, you can take the system. Now we have to send the plumber. Now the plumber doesn't work for free.
At marami daw pasyente.
The charge for the plumber is going to work twice now. He's going to do this installation and an installation on the new house.
That's why
Kumain ka na ba doon?
Yes.
Marunong na pala ako.
and, came back to the same house.
Kumain ka na ba doon?
Well,
So he took out his softener, right?
right.
He came back. He brought back his softener. So that can happen. That's why I'm asking.
Is that the same
That's
line?
very rare though.
Yeah, that, I mean,
Very
nobody
rare.
sells the house and buys
Yeah.
the house back, but
Because-
that's way we're, and obviously, after 5 years, you know, and nobody will do the installation for free again, you know, so. But we give them the service of sending the technician, and there's going to be a charge for reinstalling the system. And probably if that system wasn't working, maybe that system won't be good anymore. If that system was 5 years, imagine how it's going to be inside. So you don't want to reinstall, spend the money on the plumber to put a used system that it wasn't in service for so long.
I like to buy the whole system, but my problem it will be done to the Philippines.
It's in Philippines. Yeah, we are working with plumbers in Philippines so they can do the installation.
So do you have the great brochures of all the systems? I could check which one I like. Because I'm planning to have a system in the Philippines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me too, I want to have one too in the
Definitely.
Philippines.
I think it's very wise though for them to wait that when we get to the Philippines because shipping. might
I'm
be-
leaving, so shipping.
Yeah, we are working on putting together a big cargo so we can ship it units to Philippines. So we are working on that. This year will happen though.
I don't have a full understanding of this. If you want mine, I can talk because I'm really planning to have a water system in my place.
Okay?
But I don't know how to do it.
Oh,
No, you're not gonna be the one to
Yeah,
install.
you're not going to stop.
The technician will do it.
Yeah,
Do you have the brochure of each system?
Yes,
Yes.
we have.
yes.
Yes.
we do.
Because I have that content water there, and I don't have the explanation of the other kind. So I want to know what's the difference. Because I don't
No,
know.
he just, Freddie just explained to us, when you buy the whole house system, this is free. This is our top of the line. This is by itself, if you buy this by itself, it's 3,215. But when you buy the whole house system, this is free. So this is your alkaline drinking water.
So if
It's
I
free.
buy two, do you have a discount?
No, we don't go with discount.
Now the discount that we can give you is if you buy the Alkavida.
Alka-Air, which is very good. This one, you get 500 discount on this one. It comes packaged with that.
The thing that I like is non-electric.
So
Yes.
this is all our system are non-electric. So you get it. You don't have to pay separate for that because when you buy the 6,950, this is free.
Because that canned water, I have a hard time,
Why?
to order all those parts. I just recently, ordered for the, for the canned water, that's it in there. I have that 13 years ago. But then my Ninong introduced me to this one and I said, is it electric or something? Then I read that one there.
Non-electric.
Yeah.
Non-electric. All our systems are non-electric.
Okay.
Yeah.
But one more question. That computer, does it need electricity?
Yeah, you need the electricity, but this electricity that goes is just to it's for the meter.
So we can make it
So-
into a 220 because Philippines is 220.
Yes,
Yeah.
no problem.
You have that.
Yeah, we have these systems in South America also, and South America is 220.
Because I quit living in America and I'm too old for that and I like to be healthy,
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes.
Yeah, this one is it's a transformer.
Oh, you can.
So this one changes to 220.
Oh,
So and the power that goes over here, it's just for the clock. It's
So,
not
Freddie,
something that's going with it. This one is probably like your alarm clock. That's
It's like a life
same thing. Same thing.
Freddie, in the Philippines, it is very, I don't know where you're staying, but outside of Metro Manila, they have brownouts all the time.
Oh.
By your own generation.
So how does that work? Because you said that it has a battery of its own, right?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
we
that's
use generator?
the only, like, right now we unplug it, right? And it's really simple.
That girl will buy. I will tell her to buy.
I am so excited. We are now selling to the Philippines.
Oh, yeah. This will be sellable in the Philippines. So this one
So
here.
it's really simple when
Yes,
this gets
yeah,
applied.
they have already. They're all under my team.
The only thing that if the power went out, right now it's 2:42. Well, let's put it on time. 12:51.
Okay, East Coast and Midwest, you hear that? We're selling to the Philippines. We're sending container.
So 12:51, it's a time right now, and we are going to unplug it.
Oh.
So all depends how long the power goes out. But if you plug it in again, still 12:51.
But sometimes
So-
it takes an hour in the Philippines.
This can take up to like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, very good.
So-
Yeah, that's good.
But in case of the electricity going out longer, the only thing that you need to check is the clock. If the clock is according to the current time, you just don't do anything. But if the clock is not right, it's really simple to
Yeah, just.
adjust it. So set clock, the hours is blinking, and you adjust it to like, let's say 1, and then next will be the minutes, and then you just put it whatever minutes is, and you
Yeah, so it's.
push next again, is done. So it's really simple. The memory of the programming never change, even though if the power is for a month or 2 months,
It doesn't affect the
it
machine.
won't affect the memory of the programming.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what if a client who already purchased that and if later on he wants to purchase the other one, so does he get the certificate because that's the one that he's second?
You just pay the difference.
Just pay it.
Pays the difference, and it's a little charge on the installation because now the plumber, we have to pay the plumber again to do the installation. Yes.
Yeah, big estimation.
But yeah, definitely we do the difference. Yes. So
Concerning the reverse osmosis processing, what is the difference between ours and the others?
Yeah, I wanna know.
the reverse osmosis basically, there's no difference on the membrane. The membrane all depends what brand or how the membrane was made. You know, that's a difference. But the big difference will be before the membrane. If you don't use good filters before this membrane, this gets affected. So the rejection rate for the contaminants on this membrane depends on how good filters you're going to be using before. So that's a difference that we have on our unit.
So you are saying they are the ones who have these two on.
Exactly.
They're the only ones that have that.
Yes.
The only one that we have this one.
We manufacture it.
How often will we change? Every year.
This every year. These units, these 3 gets changed every year. This one, if you change this more often, this membrane can last longer.
We didn't, so I have to come to America to buy it.
Meses son diferentes.
No, there, but there's.
Yes.
They're the one who changed that.
I have a question because I have that Alpha 75, but there's no manual though.
Yeah, differs the manual.
What's why is like something that will tell us what's
Yeah.
happening in the system?
Yeah, then can we have sample of that? Or
We have actually on the brochures like this one, it will tell you what it is. And basically, this unit is not electronic like that one that it tells you push this, push that.
Yeah.
So the manual that we have, it's more like how you are going to do the installation, how you are going to do the instructions, how to do the installation. You can have that. You are welcome to have it.
Maybe not the manual or some literatures, maybe to just so we know what's what's happening inside.
Yeah, what's
like
inside.
Sure. Yeah, we have that.
We're actually putting up, I talked to Taddy already, we're actually putting up like a trifold that we're gonna put in the box. Because basically, I think why we don't have that, because once that's installed, you're not supposed to touch anything on that machine because you lose the the limited lifetime warranty. So if something happens to it, you just call the company and the technician will come. But still, yeah, I agree with you because I talked to Taddy about putting a manual. So we're gonna be, I'm sitting down with Taddy on what information we will
Let
put
me
in
get that
the.
manual that we have.
But yes, we have. For now,
maybe
what
not
are the
the
names of those?
maybe not a manual, but you know how
What's the function? What's the
benefits and all that.
benefits and function of
Filters.
filter? Yeah.
Okay, any more question for Freddie? Any more questions? No more questions? Okay, so, listen guys. So for this year, why we're having, excuse me guys, very important. The reason why we have this training is because for 2017, we want to make it the year of selling Protector Plus. I don't even want to touch on Protector 1. I don't promote that. I've never sold that. I sold a lot of Protector Plus because the difference is only $500, but you get the best. You get the best for filtration because you have an extra filtration system with it. So let's, if you, after this, if you guys need help for, to break down whatever, you need clarification, come to me, come to Freddie. We're going to have lunch. If you have any more questions, if you don't have any more questions.
Freddie, are most residential pressures of PSI for the water, are they mostly the same, like around?
PSI will be something that the technician will deal with.
Are most cities about the same?
No.
For the pressure of the,
No.
because when we're at his house, he has higher pressure. In his house, lower pressure.
Yeah.
To the volume.
The technician will adjust it to according to the water pressure of the house. Yes.
Okay, no more
Now
questions.
on the we didn't go to the soap. That's an illustration of how much soap you get with the package. The right part where you see all the gallons, you can see that by adding the soap water on those gallons, you can make around $6,500 worth in detergents. So basically, your system is getting paid by itself. With the, sure.
I have another question.
Yes.
With regards to that red filter, you said that you're also selling that outside for other manufacturers. The red filter?
Yes.
You said you were saying that you're also selling that to other manufacturers. So how come you say that you're the only ones that have that filter?
Okay. On our alkaline unit, this technology is used with some other company. So the company, this technology is so good that some other companies, they are using us as well. But on our unit, the combination that we have, it's totally different than if they're going to be using, let's say, with that machine. This filter doesn't take the solid dissolves of the water. So it's a good technology, but with this combination. So if you use this technology on, let's say, a unit like this, or an electronic unit, it will be much better to use it without it. I mean, this will be much better to use with that unit, but it's still, that unit doesn't remove what this membrane is removing.
So the combination, other
The
words,
combination.
the combination of the filters that we use is only used by our company. So that's why we provide better filtration system as opposed to another company who's gonna be buying just the Red D to connect to their own system.
Wait, another question. Our company just bought a system that has offline, hot and cold.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's, we have a unit
Did
having
you
cold.
get it from here? Or
No, it's a different.
Oh, if they have their own, they bought it from, sorry, this
So
is
our
our
office has that.
Oh.
I don't think so.
So, yeah, that's why we're asking the difference, because, you know, they already bought it and that's hot and cold. And it also has a tag and a reversal process.
How come you didn't sell them with our system?
We were trying to, but he said, oh, we're not.
Yeah.
We are still trying to talk to our.
Yeah, our-
office, so they would be comparing what we have in the office to what we will be selling.
Yeah, I'm going to check with how our new units that haven't called for offices. We are going to present it soon, like probably next week. So you guys can see the new units that we have for offices.
For office, and they have-
Well, for all depends how the office will be. We can either put 2 tanks or a bigger tank. If a bigger tank can be